Hi guys, and welcome back to another Genshin Impact weapon review. Today we're gonna review the Deathmatch. It's a 4-star polearms, its series is independent, and you can only obtain it by Battle Pass. Pretty much, as you know, most of you, on Genshin Impact you have the monthly Battle Pass. If you buy the premium version for €12 at Battle Pass level 30, you can actually choose one of the 5 Battle Pass weapons, if I remember correctly, and one of these is the Deathmatch. That's pretty nice because you have a 100% chance to choose what weapon you want, and because you can buy these every month, you can actually refine this weapon pretty easily. Like in 5 months, you can actually have a 4-star weapon at max refine. In this case, again, we're talking about the Deathmatch, but that's true for all Battle Pass weapons. The base stats of the weapon are a 41 base attack, and that's a bit bad because it's the lowest attack a 4-star weapon can have, with secondary stats crit rate. Level 19 is a 454 base attack, that is actually quite low, but with a crit rate of 36.8%. This crit rate is actually very high, and with a decent artifact set, you can easily reach up to 17-18% crit rate. That's very, very powerful. The passive is called Gladiator, and if there are at least 2 opponents nearby, so if there are 2 or more opponents, you gain an attack increase of 16% and a defense increase of 16%. So it's a 1.60 multiplier for both attack and defense. This is actually a bit low. 16% alone is not very much, especially with a weapon like that. But if there are less than 2 opponents, so if there is 1 or 0 opponents, but usually you want to at least 1 opponent, because the attack percent is important when you fight someone, the attack increase is 24%. So against 2 opponents you gain 16% and 60% defense. If there is just 1 opponent, your attack is increased by 24%. But of course you don't get the defense from it. So there is a big difference. The big difference is that there are 2 opponents, you gain a bit of attack and a bit of defense. If there is just 1 opponent, you gain a lot of attack. In this case it's just 24%, that it's 1.24 multiplier, that itself is not very high. Now let's talk about the good thing about the weapon. So the good thing about the weapon is that the crit rate is actually very high, and the passive of the weapon is actually not bad, because at each refine, this increase of 4% and this of 6%. So this means that, for example, at max refine, it's actually very easy to get because it's a battle pass weapon, you can get up to a 32% attack and defense when there are 2 or more enemy. So that's actually very high. And if there is just one enemy, it's a 48%, so nearly 15%. This is actually very high and very strong. But at low refine, the weapon is not super good. I think that this starts becoming decent at refiner level 3 and 4. So if you can refine this weapon, it's very strong. If not, it's a bit meh. Now, the bad things about the weapon are 2. The first one is the base attack. In my opinion, they gave this weapon a 41 base attack. That is just too low. I think that they can and should buff this to a 42 base attack to reach the 510, and this will help the weapon a lot, especially because if you get this from the battle pass, you just gain a weapon with a very low base attack, a decent crit rate, but very low attack percent increase. So at the end of the day, you have a very low base total attack on your character, and the crit rate of course help you a lot, but you actually want to have a decent attack, and if they don't want to buff the passive, they should at least give this a 42 base attack in my opinion. So the bad thing about the weapon is that it has a very low attack percent multiplier at low refine, and base attack of the weapon is very bad. So that's the main problem of this weapon right now. And the characters that can use this weapon are right now just 3, but more polearms users are coming out. For example, there is Sino, but the Watao should be a polearms user, so they are coming out. For now we have Xiangling, Xiao, and Zhongli. So Zhongli, let's talk about him. He can use this weapon. Depends, because Zhongli is a support character, so usually if you use Zhongli as a support, I would not advise Deathmatch, simply because Deathmatch give you crit rate and attack percent most of the time, and these are things that Zhongli can benefit, but as a support character you actually probably prefer other stats, as HP, defense, or even having a decent attack percent. On a DPS Zhongli, this weapon is actually decent. I say decent because it has a very low high crit rate, but has the same problem as before, low base attack and low attack percent. On Xiao, in my opinion, Xiao is a DPS build, so the crit rate, of course, is very good. If you don't have better option, this weapon it's okay on Xiao. And on Xiangling, this is actually okay too, because Xiangling you can use her as a support DPS or a DPS main. On a support DPS or on a main DPS, the defense is not super big. You can use this weapon on her if you don't have better option, because the crit rate and even the bit of attack percent, of course, help her DPS. So the best character are, of course, Xiangling and Xiao, with Zhongli being a bit meh if you are planning to use him as a support. But that's pretty much all for this weapon. Let me know in the comment what you think about the deathmatch, because a lot of people actually think that this is one of the worst battle pass weapon, and that may be the case. Let's hope that Hoyo actually buff this. In my opinion, a little buff just to see if the weapon will change a lot is a 42 base attack. That is a very decent buff, because you can have a decent base attack with a very high crit rate and with a decent attack percent that all around will make the weapon a little bit better. Because for now there are better options, like every 5-star PR is simply better, some 4-star PR are even better than this, and it's a bit bad, but as I say, it's a battle pass weapon. Refine this and it should be good. But refining this at max refine will cost you 5 months of game time, and of course will cost you around 15, 7, 16 euro, so it's a bit expensive too. But let me know in the comment what you think about this weapon and if you actually own this weapon, and see ya on the next video.